you told us you went out with your family to get a Christmas tree, and there was a selection process.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So if one of you starts with like a...
No, we started.
Like a question.
We're in it.
No, this isn't it.
Yeah.
You're going to cut this.
We're a minute and 20 seconds in.
No. You're going to start...
Tell us.
Just waiting on you.
Now.
All right, so before we get into this one, let's just recap from the last episode because it's been a while. It's probably been a week or so or more since we've been together. Since then, there have been some pretty big, momentous things that have happened in our lives. Tatum, why don't you go first? You had a pretty incredible moment with a Christmas tree.
Incredible feels a little bit like reaching, but yes, I will say that my family last Friday, December 11th, finally got a Christmas tree.
Hey, good for you guys.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I did it.
What was that experience like?
Did you go cut one down?
I didn't cut it down.
No.
They
were pre-cut.
Let somebody else do the dirty work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the good thing is you're taking good care of it, right?
I think someone is.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's necessarily going to be me.
Well, walk us through the process, because I don't think a lot of people, well, some people probably don't go to the Christmas tree tent and pick out a tree. So
Tree morgue.
The tree morgue. Tell us what that was like.
They're all in the little circus tents. You go in and there's just rows and rows of trees. And some of them are different kinds. Some of them are purposefully shorter. Some of them are, quite a few feet tall. And
were you looking for a certain type of tree? Like
when we go in, we are usually looking for, they're called noble firs. Those are the most popular kind of tree from the smell, but also they just have like thicker needles, which is better for holding ornaments. So typically we go for noble. What's funny though is that apparently if you wait until December 11th, there may or may not be noble firs available, and there were none. So instead,
Shocking.
what we got is called the
oak tree.
The grand fir.
Sticks on the ground.
Mountain laurel.
The grand tree.
Cedar tree.
Don't even joke. Mountain laurels smell wonderful.
Yeah. Give everybody the allergies. Merry Christmas.
Texas lilac. Sorry.
So how big was the tree that you guys got?
I think it was 8.5 feet.
How many branches?
So many.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And circumference?
No, it was a very, very full tree.
Nice.
Ceiling height? How much? What was the?
No.
It was like an 8-foot tree and a 7-foot.
Tree questions.
Yes.
But they let you
Stop talking about the sun.
Shut up about the sun.
They let you put the star on the top though, right?
What's funny too is that ordinarily what we'll do is we'll go pick out the tree, bring it home, and then get all the decorations and ornaments out and just, have an evening of setting it all out.
Yep.
But when
makes
we
sense.
brought the tree home,
We forgot
no
about
one felt like doing it. So we
left it
didn't
alone.
do it. So it was just
Still strapped to
a
the top
single,
of the car.
just a single tree in the living room. No ornaments, no anything.
Did you at least put the sugar water bowl underneath?
What?
Yeah, you put the sugar water underneath
That's not
it.
real.
Is that not real?
Now you want as many ants as possible to come in there.
How do you put
can't
water
be
under? I
real.
thought it was sugar water.
What are we feeding a hummingbird? No,
No.
It's not sugar water. It's just normal water. That can't be real.
I don't know the
Somebody
science
Google it.
behind it. Did
Google
you
it.
put any water underneath it?
I think someone did.
Oh, man.
Jamie, can you look that up for us real quick? Can you see if it's sugar water that we put
Just
under the
picture
tree?
Tatum over there with a garden hose just spraying the tree down.
Where did you hear the sugar water thing?
I mean, anywhere. I don't know.
No,
I think it was in a Seuss Christmas
I'm gonna
book
look it
or
up.
something.
that
I'm
can't
gonna
be
look it up.
real.
Well, okay, while we're looking that up, I have a confession because I had my own tree saga. Remember, it was tree, no lights, or didn't work. Tree, 0 lights. Third tree, lights, no decorations. So we've thrown some ornaments at it, and it's pictures of the boys, and that's about it. But there will be, what? What'd you find out?
I'll stand by until you're done with your story.
no.
I just got my Google search in.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can finish this. The whole thing I was going to say was, I don't know if we're going to have a star on the top of the tree because my boys can't decide who's going to do it. And there's no way to have both of them.
Why don't you just Solomon it?
Huh? No, can't do that.
I mean, you technically can.
2 trees would be better than, yeah.
What you do is just cut the star in half and then they each put up a half.
We're just going to do it in the middle of the night.
And that's called conflict resolution.
Say that our elf on the shelf put the star, and they could be mad at the elf and not me. Of course, my luck, when I'm up on the ladder, I'd fall into the tree and the whole thing topples over.
Just Solomon
snaps
the
in
tree.
half, spills that sugar water everywhere.
Yeah, well, we put sugar water under it, but ours is a fake tree.
Yeah, it's for Santa.
So what'd you find out about sugar water?
I did a Google search for sugar water for Christmas tree. That was my prompt. You should not use sugar water for your Christmas tree. That's the part that's highlighted. Experts from institutions like Michigan State University and the National Christmas Tree Association, which is definitely not a real
There's
thing.
an association.
Yes, National Christmas Tree Association confirm that plain fresh water is all your tree needs, as sugar can feed bacteria, clog the trunk, and actually shorten the tree's life. My gosh, I'm sorry to everybody listening.
You're
I
just
was
putting
wrong.
sap back
Guys,
in the tree.
Anybody that has not listened up to this point, remove the sugar water.
I don't get the mindset of the perceived science to where one would believe that sugar water would be beneficial.
Here's the thing.
For a cut down tree.
We operate on sugar during Christmas. So maybe, just maybe, we're like, I bet the tree does too.
Yeah, it feels very Dr. Seuss somewhere in there.
Sure. You know, the dying tree from the tree morgue, a little bit of sugar in that thing. It's going to be just right for an entire month.
Wasn't it Vincent D'Onofrio from Men in Black? Wasn't he the one that was...
Oh, yeah. Sugar.
So if anybody has put sugar and water under your tree this Christmas...
Congratulations, encouraging bacteria, you idiots.
There's an entire association that is against you.
I'm just glad that I looked it up. I helped everybody just now, all the thousands listening
This
right now.
really is the first time I've ever heard about sugar water for a tree.
And if you're wondering where all the ants are coming from, that could be your problem.
It's the sugar water.
So we all have trees. Some of the trees are dead, some are alive, some have regular water, some have sugar water. What did we talk about last time too? Home Alone.
Ooh, we did hit Home Alone. You know what? I saw something that I thought was really cool. I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah.
Home Alone is a Christian movie.
What?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I knew that too.
Yeah, I sent it to
What?
Josh. Josh saw it.
I've
I'm
read
pretty
it.
sure I sent it to you too, but you don't look at anything that I sent.
Fair.
Well, take us through it.
Okay, so Home Alone is not just a movie about a little kid getting left behind, as they say. Home Alone is actually a movie about redemption, and that starts with...
Oh, okay.
Well, we talked about Old Man Marley last time. Old Man Marley in this scenario actually represents the Christ figure, right?
No.
No, I think it does. Give
he
him a
represents
chance.
the old man.
Well, first of all, he
so-
wasn't that old.
How old was he?
He was 66 when they filmed that.
He was 37 years old. Marley is initially feared and misunderstood. So similar to Isaiah 53, but he is revealed to be loving and a gentle soul. Just like we talked about last time, we were like, oh, he's a monster. He's like the Belsnickel.
I don't think
And I
that
was
we said he was a
"That's wrong."
monster.
You did. You
Did
said
I?
he was. Don't lie. There is a scene in the movie. Do you remember when he's at the grocery store? And I would love for Josh to talk about something that he sent me earlier about the scene in the grocery store. But there's a scene where Kevin's in the grocery store, right? Old Man Marley comes up and like slams his hand down on the counter. And he's got this wrap around his hand. And the camera angle is from the underside, so you can see it through the glass. He's got a wound on the middle of his hand, like a bloody wound on that rag. Mm-hmm. And then the camera angle switches to over the top, and the wound is all the way through.
And we're positive this isn't just a continuity error.
Yes, we're positive. Yeah, They would never make that mistake.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is one of the greatest movies ever made. They would never make that mistake. This was intentional. So, wound all the way through the hand. Now, the redemption story of this, the film centers on the reconciliation between Marley and his son, which is very
Doesn't
close.
center on it. That's like a side plot.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you consider the movie, it's about Kevin reconciling with his family, But the very end of the movie is him realizing that Old Man Marley has also reconciled with his son.
Yeah, but that's like a small part of the overall movie.
You are
But it's
just
the end. It's the very end.
killing this vibe right now.
What?
This is a story in the Bible about the son coming back to the father and the father embracing him through all of the problems, through all of the issues, through all of the worry. He embraced him and he brought him in. Prodigal son, Old Man Marley, Christ figure.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Kevin gets through the whole entire thing, but if it weren't for Old Man Marley, he would not have been saved.
You know, the crazier thing than that is actually the cost of all the grocery items Kevin paid for.
How much
This is
was
what
it?
I
That
wanted
was
you to go back to. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, let me read you. I want you to take a guess. I'm going to read the items that Kevin bought. And again, this was what, in 1990, I think. So here's what Kevin bought: half a gallon of milk, half a gallon of orange juice, Wonder Bread, Kraft mac and cheese, a Stouffer's TV dinner. It was roast turkey, by the way, because you need to factor that in.
Boiled goose.
Tide liquid detergent, saran wrap, quilted northern toilet paper, 4 rolls, snuggle dryer sheets, a bag of plastic army men. What would you guess that total is?
$120.
Yeah, that's what it.
$1,400.
Kevin paid $19.83. What? For all of that. I went to the store today just to get stuff to make dinner, and it was 5 times that. And I didn't even get a bag of plastic army men this time.
What an absolute pain. Inflation.
My boys are asking to watch Home Alone. I don't think they're old enough yet, so we'll watch some other Christmas
Bring them
movies.
over to my house. We'll let them watch it.
The problem is I know everything that they see that Kevin does to the Wet Bandits, they're going to do to me. Just, it's a given.
Paint bucket to the face.
Dad, where's the saran wrap? Nope. Where are the nails?
Blowtorch.
So we'll watch like Polar Express and some other movies before Christmas. But a big thing about it too, it's not just when you're watching the movie with your families. One of my favorite things too is, and we do this every Friday night, but Christmas time we love doing it, is a family movie night or a family Christmas movie night. And we all pick hot chocolate or something like that. What are some of your favorite Christmas drinks and food? And Tatum, by the end of this, we want you to pick which is your favorite combination.
Here's the thing. I only looked up like the nasty foods. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Yep. So it's going to be rough, guys.
Oh, man. Well, you know what, Tatum, you're still going to pick your favorite combination, but this episode now is going to be called Is It Nasty?
Is it? So the whole thing with Christmas food is it's supposed to be like this joyful, heartwarming, or like, you know, like the smells and all the things, like the cinnamons and the butter and the warm bread and the family recipes passed down like sacred texts. And yet every December, we willingly resurrect foods that taste like compromise, nostalgia, and corporate boardrooms from 1956.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah. Nothing like it. And I'm talking about like the loafs and the dried fruits, the things like that, you know?
You guys actually grew up with some, like, eating some of this?
They still do this stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So these foods that no one actually requests, foods people politely sample, foods that show up every year, not because they're good, but because they've always been there. Somewhere along the way, Christmas didn't just become a celebration of Christ's birth or family gathering. It became a seasonal product launch, a carefully engineered moment where sugar, shelf stability, and mass production disguised themselves as tradition.
Sounds like Christmas to me.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. But if you think of things like fruitcake, which seemingly can survive 1,000 years on a shelf, which technically it was made to last. This was a way of preserving all of the fruits that they harvested, and now they need to put it into a thing that they can then keep for several months going forward.
So it's like a fruit mummy.
It is.
Okay.
They embalmed it.
Now, there's a slight conspiracy behind it. In the early 1900s, massive mail-order bakeries like Collins Street Bakery in Claxton. They needed a product that could be shipped nationwide without spoiling. There you go. Fruitcake was perfect because the settlers and, the early Germanic residents that were celebrating Christmas, they were creating this fruitcake. So this thing was perfect. They pushed it really hard with catalogs and ads and corporate giftings and basically shoved it into our face that this is definitely a Christmas thing, which in actuality it wasn't. It was just a necessity of the time period, and it just so happened to fall at the same time that Christmas and Thanksgiving was falling. Easy in for the marketing where they could make $1 zillion off something that nobody actually eats and get rid of a bunch of product that nobody was going to eat.
Yeah, let's take all this mummified fruit, put it in a loaf, and call it a holiday tradition.
And there's your fruit loaf.
Gosh, I want some right now.
It sounds
Ew, you like it?
horrible.
Well, just because we're talking about it to try it.
No.
I know I've had it. We've all had it.
I've
or
not.
Tried. Really?
It kind of
No.
looks fancy, though. You look at it,
Yeah.
it looks a little fancy
No,
when
it
you're
looks like
looking
there's
at
probably a layer of cigarette butts in there.
it. But
Well,
yeah,
that depends on what culture you're
yeah,
from.
Doesn't even have to be refrigerated.
The cigarette butts or just the whole loaf?
Cigarette butts are totally safe in there.
Yeah, no, it was the kind of thing that never sounded good, never looked good. The name is gross, and so I've never had it, and nor do I have a desire.
I would love to know if anybody listening is a fan of fruitcake, which I know you're not. But if anybody out there is like, I freaking love it, write us. Write us an email.
Or fight us
Say
because we don't.
what? You want
fight
me to
us.
just say that they like it? That's it?
Yes, I want them to write us an email that just says, I like it. And then
Defend your point.
end it. No, yeah, defend your point. Tell us why. Because I would venture to say there's not a single human being alive right now that actually likes that stuff. But yeah, as we go on in this episode, that's a huge reason why a lot of foods have become what they've become. A lot of them were harvest. A lot of them were the harvest at the end of the season, but also the butchered animals at the end of that season as well. So that's why ham is a big deal during Thanksgiving and during Christmas, is because they've just butchered the pigs for that year. So they're cooking the ham, they're reusing all those things, they're drying out the meats, they're making the mince meat, all the different things, all the grains that they have to store in a certain way, all the fruits that they have to dry out and make into a big chunk of cinder block. Like all of these things were actually necessity at one time, and now marketing just owns us on it.
I see what this is. I know what this is. This is like before you go on a long vacation and you open up your refrigerator and you go, we're going to have to eat all of this food or it's going to spoil. And, it's like all the stuff.
In a brick. We're going to mush it into one congealed brick.
Okay, well, I've got a drink pairing for that. I don't know if this is going to be the final one that Tatum's going to pick at the end of this. And actually, maybe by the next episode or so, we'll get you whatever you want, whatever you choose.
I don't want any of this.
You don't have to thank us now. You don't even have to thank us later.
No, I
You'll
won't.
just try it. But I think you're really going to like fruitcake paired with eggnog.
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, wait.
No.
Just wait.
Here,
No.
just drink 3 gallons of it real quick and then tell us what you think.
Eggnog, unlike everything else it seems like that we've talked about on this podcast, didn't originate in Germany, but it was actually in medieval Britain. So prior to like the 13th century, the great grandfather of eggnog was actually a drink called posset. How good does that sound?
I am salivating.
It's even grosser.
Well, hold your saliva because posset was basically a hot drink made by curdling warm milk with wine or ale, adding sugar and spices and eggs to thicken it up.
You've
That
said
sounds
a lot of
worse.
things. A lot of words that I don't agree with in this.
The first time I read this, all I pictured was like runny scrambled eggs with like wine and hot milk in it.
Yikes.
But it wasn't a Christmas drink to start off, thank goodness. But in the
It was a
15th,
fire starter.
Does that make it better?
it started out in 13th century college frats. In the 15th century, and this is after monks eventually started thickening it with eggs and figs, it was actually used as a remedy for cold and other ailments.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you'd vomit up whatever's
Yeah.
infecting you.
So if you had a stomach ache, you were going to be drinking hot, spiced, curdled milk with eggs and alcohol.
You can't have a stomach ache if there's nothing in there.
But the cost of these items were expensive in England. So like eggs and milks and spices were expensive. And so it was kind of seen as a drink for wealthy and the aristocratic. And so it slowly morphed into a wintertime drink to celebrate, and they would toast to good health. But then America, we made it better. So what was cheaper in America? Caribbean rum. And that was because it was not as heavily taxed in colonial America as some of the other liquors. So eggnog became a Christmas drink because rum was readily available. And with all the farmland, you had eggs and milk that were kind of aplenty as well. So all of a sudden it went from an aristocratic drink to basically the nog for everybody. George Washington had his own special recipe. And I don't know how this guy could stand on 2 feet after he had one cup. I'm going to read to you. This is George Washington's eggnog recipe.
Gasoline.
And this makes a large batch, about 3 quarts. So if you're listening and you want to absolutely destroy your stomach, here's what you need. 1 quart cream, 1 quart milk, 12 tablespoons of sugar. So that's 3/4 of a cup. 1 pint of brandy, a half pint of a rye whiskey,
There you go.
half pint of Jamaican rum.
Jeez, man.
I'm not done. A 1/4 pint of sherry, and just to give it that extra egg flavor, 12 eggs separated.
Oh, gross. That's so many.
The last thing you need to do is get freshly grated nutmeg for garnish and that really nice spice to it. And that was George Washington's special recipe. Here's the thing. I just bought some eggnog, and I brought it over here for you guys to have, too.
Yeah.
Huge mistake.
Not the kind that George Washington.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, this was from the local grocery store. It didn't have any nutmeg in it. I mean, it didn't have any alcohol in it, but it also didn't have nutmeg.
Our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves right now.
It is kind of gross, and I love eggnog. But what I brought over, it tastes like a batter. It's really weird.
Yeah, all eggnog.
Oh,
does.
man. So now that you've got your recipe, here's another early American one that this is not the George Washington knock you down, but beat a dozen eggs until light, add a pint of brandy, half pint rum, half pint of cream, sweeten with loaf sugar.
What is loaf sugar?
I'm guessing it's related to the old fruit loaf over there. So you serve it warm in winter and cold in the summer.
Oh, you said that sounded like an insult. That old fruit loaf over there.
What'd you call me?
So think about this,
sorry.
though. Do you want it warm? Because I feel like you're one step away from an omelet at that point. They were really thick, pretty boozy, and they were served in communal bowls.
Oh, gross.
So bring your spoon or a ladle. Just get you a big old scoop of eggnog.
Ugh.
Or scrambled eggs.
Well, just
whatever it is.
imagine, during this time they would prepare it and then arguably sitting out at room temperature for hours.
Yeah, I
Like,
think it's
ugh.
one of those.
Nope.
Okay, I did read somewhere, and maybe I'm wrong about the eggnog, but it was kind of like, oh, it gets better,
The longer it curdles.
congeals,
Ugh.
mummified.
Have you guys ever had this type of eggnog? The one that,
This kind, no.
what you're talking about?
No. Well, there was a group that really loved eggnog, so much so that it caused a bit of a ruckus.
Is this the Nazis?
No. Remember, this didn't
'Cause
originate.
they did cause a ruckus.
Yeah, this didn't originate in Germany.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. I digress.
But have you ever heard of the eggnog riot of 1826?
Of course I have not. Tell us, Josh.
All right. Well, this one takes place at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, and it exploded into a full-on Christmas riot over eggnog. So the cadets smuggled
Over
in whiskey. Because of eggnog.
Oh, wow.
The cadets smuggled in whiskey to make this Christmas eggnog, And the resulting chaos included broken windows, sword fights, yes, like actual swords, several court-martials. And so it kind of goes down in history as the wildest nog incident on record and the only time a dairy beverage threatened national security. So I'm placing nog high on the list for our pairing in our weird, nasty Christmas meals and drinks.
Why don't we do something a little more recognizable, something that we've all had, probably all enjoyed. We've all given them to kids. We all hung them on our tree. Talk about the candy cane. They've been around for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands, but for sure hundreds. They actually started as just little sugar sticks. And in the 1600s through the 1800s, parents would give these little sugar sticks to their kids during church services. It would keep them quiet.
Oh, well, yeah, we still do that.
Yeah, you give them candy and say, here's your iPad and some candy. Just for the love, don't make me look like a bad parent.
Well, my wife does that to me too
Yeah.
when we go. So,
Well, it wasn't actually until later on in its history that it actually got its hook added to it. So for hundreds of years, the candy cane was actually just a sugar stick. The Germans are actually the ones that added the hook. Supposedly what had happened was a choir master had requested to bend the sticks into the shape of a shepherd's crook so they could feel more religious.
I didn't know that
Parents were
it was
handing
called
them
a
out.
shepherd's crook. Kind of fun. I like
It
that.
is fun, yeah. Now, whether or not this is true or not, there's historians that debate it either way. Most people agree that that's probably not what happened. And this kind of goes along the same thing. Have y'all ever heard it was not a shepherd's crook? It was a J for Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, between Old Man Marley and this, just wow.
I know. The white of the cane that symbolizes purity, and the red stripes symbolize his blood, Jesus' blood. And the peppermint is the hyssop plant from the Bible.
Is it really? Wow.
Well, that's what this is saying. That's what it's saying, that the candy cane was a Christian object, that it was a Christian illustration, and that the peppermint represents the hyssop plant. Not that it actually is. Yeah.
Well,
It just that's the symbolism
I don't care
behind it all.
anymore then.
But in actuality, the candy cane is a huge marketing tool. It is literally just sugar in the form of a little stick. It could not be any less expensive to make. So again, this goes back to the fruit loaf, fruit cake, fruit cinder block that we talked about earlier, where companies can market this thing as a Christmas object, which it undoubtedly is. You know, you recognize just a few key things. You see a Christmas tree, that's Christmas. You see a candy cane, Christmas. You see Santa Claus, ayo, you know. Now, come along with me to meet a man named Gregory Keller, who is a Catholic priest. He was the one that invented the machine that actually bent the hook for them.
wow.
Yeah, so AI's been stealing our jobs all the way back to then. Yeah, that was the 1920s. He was the first one that mass produced them.
So you're telling me we were hand bending candy canes all the way up to the early 20th
Well,
century?
there's some-
You and me were. Yeah.
There's videos of professional candy makers today that will do it that way.
Hey, if you're a professional candy maker,
Write us.
Yeah, first and foremost, write us. We want to hang out with you and get some of those sugar sticks. But if you've got tips and tricks into making candy canes, let us know. We want to hear more about it. Email us at info@yuletiderecords.com. Maybe we'll be best friends and you'll be on the show next time.
When candy canes became as popular as they are, the peppermint itself just exploded. There was this idea that the smell of peppermint would make people want to shop more because it smelled clean. Because the stores smelled clean when you walked into
I don't
some.
associate peppermint with cleanliness.
Oh,
Yes,
I
you
do.
do. Yeah,
That's like
you absolutely
that's
do.
like a lemon thing, not peppermint.
But imagine that you were back then and you didn't have things like peppermint when you walk into a store. It just smells like mold or mildew or the dust bowl or whatever it is back then. And all of a
Surely
sudden,
the two choices weren't mold or peppermint.
Well, think about
Dust
this.
Bowl.
Think about this. Like when what was the gum that did the whole marketing campaign on like a clean mouth versus a dirty mouth? Was it Trident or one of those?
yeah, something
It's
like
all
that.
like the mint and peppermint flavors that make you feel like this is
Cleanliness.
clean, or
Yeah.
your mouthwash has that flavor, not lemon.
The taste, not the smell.
peppermint
Because like when
is-
you smell lemon, you're not tasting it. Because I wouldn't say the taste of lemon also gives that sense of cleanliness. It's like they're switched. You know, you smell lemon, it's clean. You taste peppermint, it's clean. Not vice versa. Does it work the opposite ways?
because of their shape, candy canes made unusually effective makeshift lock picks is what I came across. So when you shaved them down to a point in the 80s, several small-time burglars used melted and sharpened candy canes to flip deadbolts, trigger latch mechanisms, and jam door sensors.
I mean, you have to admire the innovation there.
I don't know if it's true or not. I looked into
Why
it.
are
I
you
couldn't really find
reading
anything.
things that you don't know are true?
It just came up when I searched. I haven't found.
Where's
a
the
whole bunch on it.
integrity?
Yeah,
Golly.
well, I just want to talk about it. Talk about everything that I see. So just want to give the people what they want, which is crime. That's there's a ton more on candy canes, but that's enough for now, I think.
all right,
Let me tell you more about candy canes.
I've got a perfect pairing for your candy cane. All right, Tatum, I hope you're taking notes because this may
I am
be
not.
your next favorite. And I want to talk to you about the surprisingly wild history of hot chocolate.
Oh my God.
You buckle up.
We're going to die here.
You might.
Chocolate is good.
So the very first hot chocolate wasn't this creamy marshmallow topped drink. It began with the Maya and the Aztecs.
Oh,
Yeah. And
Okay.
you're back in. Hey,
I'm back in,
Tatum,
yeah.
welcome to the podcast.
I'm always back in with the Aztecs and Mayans.
So the Aztecs and Maya served cacao as a frothy, bitter, spicy beverage. So picture hot chocolate kind of mixed with chili pepper and kind of foamy, but they served it to warriors and kings.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it wasn't just a treat for kids. This was actually like, hey, prepare yourself for battle beverage.
What a fun little thing.
that's what I think every time I'm drinking some hot cocoa.
Nothing makes me feel like
About to go to war.
Time to go fight.
Yeah, I usually, and then I just run out and punch the nearest neighbor.
Yeah.
So when the Spanish brought cacao to Europe, something incredible happened. Guess what that was? They put sugar in it.
There you go.
That
That'll do
sugar
it.
water. They were like, hey, we put sugar water in our trees. Let's try it in our chocolate.
Can you imagine, though, living in a world where you hadn't tasted that sugar and all of a sudden you're like, what is happening in
It's
my
not
mouth?
working for the trees. What if we just tried it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you don't have angry Aztecs fighting each other after they drink this spicy chocolate drink. But all of a sudden, hot chocolate transforms into like this, again, aristocratic drink that they all love. And by the 1700s, the European nobles were drinking it at breakfast, at parties, again, even as medicine. And I feel like back then you could just say anything's for, an ailment. Oh man, I've got gout. Maybe I should have some hot chocolate. Oh, I've got a toothache,
yeah.
hot chocolate. My ear just fell off. Have some hot chocolate.
Well, the thing with sugar, too, is sugar was unavailable until late 1600s, early 1700s. And all of a sudden, it was everywhere. Like, everywhere. It was a huge market. So by this point, when they're putting sugar in everything,
Just trying everything out.
I mean, we've been addicted for a long time.
So there's even a recipe that calls for adding ambergris to it. And you know what that is, Tatum.
Mm-hmm. There's something that happens within the intestines of a whale,
Gross.
the animal,
Not the place.
and not the place.
Not the intestines of whales, the place. Gotcha.
And so when it causes that disruption in their stomach, and I don't remember the exact science behind it, but it causes like this formation that they pass, but it's a very rare thing.
Yeah, I think they use it in perfume and all sorts of
Yeah.
things.
How do people find this out?
Well, there's people like Tatum that wanted to be marine biologist.
And just go around tasting things that come out of things.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's
no,
a
that's-
very, what's the
just like-
word?
That one doesn't work.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No,
Tastes
I'm
like
forgetting the
raspberries.
word for it.
You can either put that in it, or we invented marshmallows. Way
I like
better.
that one better.
Way
yeah.
better. So then once cocoa powder became easily to produce in the 1800s, hot chocolate moved from, just the aristocrats all the way to everybody. Families had it everywhere, holiday drinks. And then it just kind of morphed into this official companion for the cold December snowy days. But the Victorian era especially loved it. Yeah, they treated it like a social event, serving it in fancy cups. And today, we still kind of drink it the same way. Warm, sweet, comforting, and it is absolutely tied to Christmas nostalgia. So every time you sip a cup, remember you're tasting a drink that once fueled ancient warriors, and it enchanted the European aristocrats, and it convinced the 17th century doctors that they had a cure for sadness.
Yeah, they did.
And honestly, they weren't wrong. That's my submission. Hot chocolate to pair with your peppermint.
So there's a very famous Christmas song that specifically mentions one food that was always a curiosity to me. And this curiosity is the figgy pudding.
Oh.
What?
Bring
Wait,
us some
what
figgy
Christmas song
pudding.
are you talking about?
We
So
wish you a
bring
Merry
us-
Christmas.
Yep, there you go.
What?
We wish you a Merry
I know-
Christmas. We wish you. We're going to do the whole thing.
Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding.
Now bring us figgy pudding.
I've never heard that line before.
You just did.
Are you
Congratulations.
are you just a first verse kind of?
That's all I've ever heard is the first part.
You just zoned out after verse 1.
I probably changed whatever was playing it or
Well,
walked
verse
out of whatever
2
store was playing it.
Well,
I'll admit it's not
because figgy pudding is disgusting. It's another one of the things, just like the fruitcake and the minced meat. I'll get into that later, but it's another thing, relic from the past.
Ew, gross. I looked up a picture of it.
Yeah, it's boiled
Oh,
I think it's.
gross.
for a long time.
I was going to say. I think this is one of the ones too. The longer it sits, the more potent it's supposed to be.
No, and it's like what you were saying earlier, where you can just look at something and you can see the texture
You know exactly what
and
it's going to feel
know
like
it's
and
like,
taste like.
nope.
So figgy pudding is actually a plum pudding. It's a British tradition. It was popularized in Dickens' stories. It's a boiled, dense dessert
Ew.
involving beef suet,
Oh, what?
brandy.
What does that even mean?
It's a type of fat. I think it's around the liver, maybe, but it's a type of fat that when it takes it a long time to render down, so it's got a higher boiling point than normal animal fat. So you can use it for things where you're boiling it for a long time.
It's
where it
fat
doesn't-
from around the animal kidney.
Kidney. What did I say?
I don't
said
even
liver,
know.
didn't I? That's my liver that's fatty. Brandy, breadcrumbs, and then here we go again with the dried fruits. And another big time push in the Victorian era was all of the spices. There was a huge market for spices. In order to make figgy pudding, tons and tons of spices. Cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, all of those things.
Well, yeah, they were just trying to cover the suet.
They had to
flavor.
cover up this.
What was
What's the most
country
powerful
of-
spice we have? Throw it all in there.
What was the country
I
of
still
origin?
taste it.
It's British. And here's the deal. All of you British listeners out there.
Right to us.
Please explain why so many of your dishes kind of seem gross.
Yeah.
I'm literally convinced that because of the fact that British cuisine just generally sucks, that's how Gordon Ramsay became famous, because for the first time ever he made food that did not suck.
Gordon, if you're listening,
Which we know you
Thanks.
are. Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Right to us. Come on the show. Make us your finest figgy pudding.
If he made figgy pudding,
I bet it'd be really good.
I'd try it.
Yeah.
And fruitcake,
I definitely
all
would.
the things.
Yeah. And again, it is only a holiday essential because they told us it was a holiday essential. I can't really talk anymore about figgy pudding without gagging, so I think I'm good.
Okay, I've got a pairing for that. Oof. It's a drink filled with spices,
Brandy.
also tied to a Christmas song. We're going to talk about wassail.
Ooh.
Yeah, and again,
Wassail,
I'm sure
you mean?
I'm
What?
sure
Oh, okay.
Tatum hasn't heard "Here We Come a Wassailing," so I'm going to give a little bit of a history lesson with this one too.
Oh, good. I thought you were about to sing.
Okay, you can go now.
You know what? We will sing.
No.
We'll sing whenever we want to sing.
Well, oh man, all the wind is out of my sails. Wassail is one of the oldest Christmas drinks in the Western world, and it has a story far bigger than just a warm bowl of spiced cider like the way we celebrate it today. The word itself comes from an Old English phrase, weshal, or weshale.
Sounded very Hitlery.
It's not. It's Old English. It means be healthy or be whole. And it was a blessing or wishing for good fortune. And that makes wassail one of the earliest examples of a holiday toast. So long before Christmas as we know it even existed, this drink was at the center of midwinter celebrations, and it meant to bring warmth, luck, and it wasn't gross like some of these other dishes that we're talking about. So by the time we reached the Middle Ages, wassailing had become both a drink and kind of a ritual, something between like a neighborhood party and a ceremony. So one version took place in villages and towns where groups of people would go door to door in cold winter, singing songs like We Go Caroling Now, and offering a sip of their communal wassail bowl in exchange for small gifts or hospitality. So instead of today's familiar Christmas songs about angels, sleigh bells, early wassailers often sang humorously. Some basically said, "Give us food or drink, or we're not leaving."
So you guys are kind of like wassailers.
You're not wrong. But it was just a socially accepted form of rowdy holiday cheer, and the wassail bowl, usually it was made of carved wood and it was decorated with ribbons or holly, was kind of at the center of the celebration. Another form of wassailing took place in regions of England where apples would grow, and especially kind of the West Country. That version was a rural winter ritual. And I've had a lot of trouble saying rural winter ritual over and over.
Yep.
And it was designed to bless the orchards so they would produce a good harvest the following year. And families, farmhands gathered around the oldest or most important apple tree. They had torches, pots, pans. I mean, I'm sure it looked weird going out there. And of course, they had a bowl of steaming hot wassail. And they would sing, shout at the trees, and even pour wassail onto the roots or place pieces of toast soaked in cider into the branches as offerings to the apple tree spirits.
Maybe that's where the sugar water came
Could
from.
be where the sugar water came from.
Told ya.
Yep. We're back. So that explained why some old texts describe wassail as feeding the orchard. And it was equal parts this agricultural, folk, magic, tradition, community festival. And it ended with, dancing, laughing, and of course, everybody drinking wassail. So it differs from region and area, but traditionally it's made from hot ale or cider mulled with spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. Very similar to some of the other dishes we're talking about. This actually sounds cool. Some recipes added roasted apples, and they would burst open in the bowl, and it would create kind of a frothy layer on top, and they would call that lamb's wool.
How long do you have to cook an apple for it to explode?
There is a really quick way to find out.
Turn on the oven.
Yeah, get your microwave set to high. By the 17th and 18th centuries, wassail had become a recognizable winter tradition across England, parts of Europe. However, as Christmas evolved into kind of a family-centered holiday in the Victorian era, like we've already talked about multiple times over, the rowdy reputation didn't always fit the domestic ideals, but it survived as a festive Christmas beverage, and the spirit of wassailing lived on in caroling, in punch bowls, and some of the other mulled drinks that we have. So even today, many families make their own versions of wassail, whether it's made from cider, wine, or a modern alcohol-free blend of apple juice and spices. That drink still carries just the centuries of history with it. So every time you take a warm sip, you're tasting one of the oldest threads running through this Christmas tapestry that we're talking about.
How about some pie that's made with meat?
Oh.
It's called
because
mince
why
meat
not?
pie. Yeah, because why not?
Let's get into that.
Yeah. Medieval England, again, preservation method. They mixed beef, venison, or mutton with dried fruits, wine, vinegar, sugar, spices. And I should say, let me break off for just a second and say, this is not just the fruit companies and the meat companies and the sugar companies. This is very much the liquor and wines and the spirit companies that were also a huge role in a lot of why these foods are making it through the test of time, is because these liquor companies know that a lot of their cheaper liquors are used in these really terrible meals. So there you go, right there. A lot of the mincemeat was made with different types of wines and liquors that they would use to basically, it was a sweet and savory meat casserole inside of a crust filled with spices, guys. Yeah.
Big surprise there.
Tons of spices.
Hey, we've got more gross meat pie.
Yeah.
Should we
much?
spice it up?
Yeah. Put some nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, all of the things in there. Just cram it in. You know, at the time it was a pretty popular meal. Anything was better than eating putrid old meat. This was at least good edible meat
In a pie format.
in a pie.
So
format,
probably
yeah.
just edible, not necessarily good.
If you could just scrub your mind of all the deliciousness that we get
Why
today,
would you word it that way?
forget the Arby's, forget the.
What did you say? The Tostinos. Tostitos.
Those
I
pretty
forgot what
good
you
pizzas.
said.
Yeah, but if we could scrub our taste buds and our minds of all of the things that we are afforded to taste, this stuff is probably good. It's probably like different from anything else they got to eat all year long. I mean,
I am interested to see if these were the foods during Christmas and like their special. Oh, these are for the warriors and the wealthy. What was the food like for the rest of the year? How bad did it have to be for this to be
it's probably pretty bad.
right?
I mean,
Well, we've already established this British food. No offense to any of you guys.
No, I mean, I think they
It's
should be offended.
Kind of
They should
gross.
feel shame.
I'm just wondering, where is the emphasis in the word? Is it a minced meat pie or is it a minced meat pie?
I don't
actually,
I don't get your
I
question.
hate the second one a lot, but it makes me laugh.
And it makes
Minced
good sense.
meat pie. Yeah. They called it the Christ Child Cradle Pie.
No, I thought you were joking.
No,
I thought you were doing a bit.
Yeah, 1400s, 1500s, mince
my
pies gained religious symbolism. They were traditionally oval or crib shaped to represent the manger where Jesus lay.
That does not make me want to eat it at all.
Little meat baby in there.
That's totally different from the king cake. But let's just go, that's kind of cute with a little trinket or a little baby in a
Yeah,
cake.
so my
versus
stepmom,
this meat
when we
pie
would go,
is the cradle.
yeah, when we would go out, we would celebrate Three Kings Day, and you would each get a piece of the cake. Whoever got that little baby Jesus was blessed throughout the year, but also had to make the cake the next year.
Oh, gotcha.
So you
Highly
were not
favored.
blessed.
Highly favored.
You were in fact condemned.
But what a fun little thing. I got the Jesus. I choked on him.
Yes. Well, we need to remember to come back to that during Epiphany and maybe talk about the king's cake.
Yeah.
So we'll put a pin in that.
Absolutely.
Put a pin in your meat pie. I don't know if you have any more on the meat pies, but I got a drink that pairs with it really well.
I'm assuming it's poison.
It's even better than that.
Asbestos.
This may be your favorite. This one actually doesn't originate in Old English gross suet.
It originates earlier.
This is a newcomer to the game.
All right.
This actually comes from our home state of Texas.
Oh, interesting.
And I am
think
talking,
know what you're
about
talking about.
none other than hot Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.
This is a real thing. So if you're listening and you just heard hot Dr. Pepper, get ready.
Wait. Hot Dr. Pepper, huh? I don't get it, Big Dan.
Yeah. It's one of the strangest Christmas drinks in American history, but it's not ancient. It's not medieval. It's not imported from some far off country. Right here in Texas, and it's in a soda bottle.
Again, was it just like someone went out to their car and it was like a really hot day and they left their Dr. Pepper and they're like, I'll just try it out.
Believe it or not, much like all the other things, this was a marketing ploy.
No way.
So let me take you back to the far off time in the 1950s. Dr. Pepper found itself with a very specific problem. Their sales dropped every winter because nobody really wanted to drink something ice cold when it was freezing outside. I'm going to actually disagree with that because I like iced coffee. But the company came up with a bold idea. Let's just serve it hot, directly heated in a saucepan. They said it was kind of like a mulled cider, or at least its quirky cousin. So the official instructions here, it's really simple. Heat Dr. Pepper to about 180 degrees. Pour it over a thin slice of lemon.
Into the trash.
But Tatum, I figured you would like this because you get the lemon slice there. So you're back to your lemon.
Oh my gosh.
I am
That sounds like such a tiny part of that.
But you know what? You can do that. Now you got yourself hot Dr. Pepper, the original Texas winter warmer. So here's the shocking part. People actually loved it. Movie theaters back then served it at holiday showings. Ice skating rinks ladled it out like hot chocolate.
Here's the thing. I love Dr. Pepper. That's my drink. And I'm in my mind, I think I would like it. I think we should try it.
It's a genuine thing. We will absolutely try it.
Yeah.
So imagine Dr. Pepper just dressed up for Christmas. So you heat the soda. It often softens kind of the carbonated bite, and it brings out more of the caramel or caramel. I don't care how you say it. Caramel, cherry, and spices. Big surprise there. And the lemon slice gives it a little bit of brightness, so it doesn't feel like you're just drinking hot syrup. And it lands kind of between wassail, cola, and, maybe part of your childhood where, anything was possible.
So it loses its carbonation?
Well, it takes the bite off of it.
Yeah, a little bit.
But by the 80s, this whole tradition almost disappeared. But here's a little twist. Japan kept it alive.
Japan?
Yes. Thank you,
There we
Japan.
go.
It actually continued showing up in vending machines during winter in Japan. So
those hot vending machines.
yeah, and it means it became a seasonal exchange. So us Texans invented it. America forgot it. And then Japan just kind of preserves it like a carbonated Christmas fossil.
Well, there you go.
But we can thank TikTok and nostalgia accounts, and every once in a while people rediscover these vintage recipes. But the shocking thing is someone says, guys, this is actually good, and the cycle starts again. So if you're listening and you're actually looking for something new to try this Christmas, you can skip the eggnog if you want to, heat up a hot Dr. Pepper, toss in a lemon slice.
Are you actually authorized to endorse it, though? Have you had it?
You just ruined the momentum of this thing.
He was rolling.
Oh, man. Pour it over lemon slice, and then you can say, this holiday drink really does taste a little bit like Texas.
I think that Dr. Pepper is one of the best marketing companies out there.
Do we have Dr. Pepper here?
They don't have a bottling company. They have Coke and Pepsi do it for them.
How do you know this?
Because I like Dr. Pepper. And I also read about stupid crap, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you go to the store, you'll see two different bottles. One is a Coke bottle, one is a Pepsi bottle.
Do they taste different?
They do.
No way.
They have a little bit of different taste, yeah.
One tastes like Coke, one tastes like Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody knows what Dr. Pepper really tastes like.
Tiny bit of Pepsi in
until
here.
you heat it up and put it over lemon. So we've gone over candy canes, fruitcake, figgy pudding, mincemeat pie, hot chocolate, hot Dr. Pepper, eggnog, and wassail. Tatum, what have you learned today?
I learned that the Europeans are not gifted in the art of cuisine.
That is a hot holiday take.
I think it's something that people generally know, just don't say.
Do y'all make a big deal out of Christmas Eve?
Oh, yeah.
Do you do something special for it?
Like
Traditions?
meal-wise?
Meal-wise, gift-wise, anything like that?
Yeah, for us, it's tamales. Just so you guys know, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're in San Antonio, Texas. So tamales, that's a staple.
Tamales are fun. And tamales, taking us back into we talked about Aztecs, Maya, Incas.
That's different.
Nope.
Not at all.
What?
Absolutely were.
I thought tamales were from Mexico, not the Mayans and Aztecs. That's South America.
Where do you think they ended up?
Okay, yeah, no, y'all were right.
Oh, no, you say it into the microphone.
Not doing that.
Put it right up there so we can hear you.
We'll turn it up.
Doing it.
I'll turn it up in post so that it's
Nope.
screaming loud.
So the next time you hear us, I think we've got a fun game that we're going to play with Christmas movies, right?
Yep.
Tatum, can you tell us about that?
It is, in fact, a bracket of Christmas movies.
Nice.
I'm ready for
Golly.
it. So if you're listening with us and you know the drill, get your coffee mug full of hot chocolate or your nasty hot eggnog with this curdled milk.
They just didn't have much ice.
That was the problem.
I think that
You're
was
saying
it.
that was the problem with eggnog, was a lack of ice.
I think it
I
could have
think
solved
so.
a lot of problems back then.
So, yeah. Overall preservation of meats where they didn't have to just dry them out and stick them
And
with
put
a
'em in
bunch
a
of fruits and spices
Pudding
and
pie.
pies.
Gross.
Yeah, I think ice would have been a huge help.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead.
Refrigeration in general.
Let's go ahead and end this thing with our glasses raised. Here
Gigantic
we
mugs of eggnog.
go. 1, 2, 3.
Wassail.
What? No,
Say wassail real quick.
I'm not saying it.